Hello my beautiful friend and welcome back to another daily video. Ghost of Yotei, we finally have the sales numbers because Sony confirmed it. Let's dive in. How does it look like? As always, you will find this article in the description box down below. Ghost of Yotei sells 3.3 million copies in its first month on sale, Sony confirms. This article by IGN, written by Wesley Yin Poole. Just uploaded a couple of minutes ago, by the way. So, oh no, updated. Oh, even better. Oh, it was updated a minute after it was posted. Okay. Ghost of Yotei has sold 3.3. Okay, I have to reach a word count. As part of its latest financial results, Sony said Sucker Punch's PlayStation 5 exclusive action-adventure sold 3.3 million units in the 32 days since going on sale on October 2nd, so sales up to and including November 2nd. Oh, thanks. Sony announced the figure without any commentary. So basically, this is the piece of paper with the number on it. Take it and buy. Because if the sales numbers were good, if the sales numbers were amazing, they would have made a fanfare out of it with, just look at how good our game is. It sold so much. Having something without a commentary means don't talk about it. So it's hard to know whether the company is happy with the result. No, it's not hard to know. Don't be disingenuous, Wesley. You know exactly what this means. However, there is a great deal of context we can add that helps us paint a picture of Ghost of Yotei's commercial success. You mean that the engineering was already there, so they were able to keep the cost low of the game? Because engineering of the game is the thing that takes up the bulk of the time and is the thing that, well, keeps the game running. It is the engine. And we already had the engine. It was Tsushima. They just took it, polished it a little bit and added to it, which I am all for it. Keep the cost low, except whenever you are Nintendo making a Pokemon game. Do a little bit more there. But yeah, I really like that Sucker Punch just took the first game and added to that one. Good addition, very good. The first comparison we should make is to its predecessor, Ghost of Tsushima. It sold 2.4 million copies in its first 3 days after going on sale exclusively on PS4 on July 17th, 2020. Then at 5 million after 118 days, so just shy of 4 months. It's now up to 13 million copies sold, including sales on the PC and PS5 Director's Cut. So I don't know if he's going to talk about it, but Ghost of Tsushima, first of all, 2.4 million copies in the first 3 days is still better, of course, than 3.3 million copies in the first month, not months, of Yotei. Because I don't think this is going to go up much more. Not only does the game cost more, but also there is so much controversy around it, up to a point where Sony censored a pride flag in one of Naughty Dog's videos. I will bring that up in a moment. And yeah, Sony's healing, by the way. Oh my god, I'm so happy about this. They're seeing what's happening in the world. Finally, it took them a while. But I don't think this is going to go up much more. I think maybe it will reach 4 million at the end of the year. I will be really surprised if this tops or goes further than 4 million going in 2026. Where were we? Also, we have to talk a little bit about what happened in 2020, if you don't remember anymore. So it's worth remembering that while we don't have a figure for a comparable period of sales, it looks like Ghost of Yotei is selling about as well as Ghost of Tsushima before it. No, it doesn't. A suggestion backed up by sales data from the US and across Europe. But is that good enough? No, it isn't. Because Sony also pulled the marketing. Because there were so much controversy around that game, because people were fed up with it as it is just another of those stories. We need to consider that Ghost of Tsushima came out on the PS4, which in the summer of 2020 had a much bigger install base than the PS5 today does. Yeah, but we're gonna talk about that in a moment. And amidst the stay-at-home gaming boom fueled by lockdowns. Okay, he's talking about it. But then again, I have something prepared for that one. Ghost of Yotei also sold for $70. Yes, thank you for that. I already talked about that, which means its dollar sales are greater compared to the cheaper Ghost of Tsushima, whose standard edition launched at $60. Yeah, but this wasn't the part. It also played a part in that. But we had rows and rows of pre-orders. People were not picking the game up, man. There is so much missing in here. But then again, the timing of each release differs also in that Ghost of Tsushima came out in the summer and Ghost of Yotei came out in the fall. Yeah, it did. Yotei has the crucial holiday season coming soon. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one as well. And it will surely be a popular pickup for those buying a PS5 for the first time or upgrading to the PS5 Pro. Probably not. Because people should play Ghost of Tsushima. And finally, multiplayer add-on Ghost of Yotei Legends comes out at some point in 2026, which will undoubtedly give Ghost of Yotei a shot in the arm next year. You mean it's going to wound it? Because I don't think this is a good phrasing right now, Wesley. Because it will be shot, but not in the arm. And we all know that Ghost of Yotei, like Ghost of Tsushima before it, will eventually launch on PC in director's cut form. And you know what's going to happen on PC? People will mod it. People will mod Atsu in a hot version. Probably they will take the Japanese voice actress and mod her face and probably her whole body on Atsu. That is what's going to happen. Easy. Perhaps there will even be a PS6 version. Of course, there's going to be a PS6 version whenever that console rolls around. So Ghost of Yotei has some way to go before it matches the total sales figures of its predecessor and probably not going to reach it, but it has plenty of opportunity to catch up. And as Circana's Matt Piscatella said last month, at launch sales were perfectly fine, not amazing, not bad. That is a very charming way to phrase it. So it wasn't good. Did you beat Ghost of Tsushima? No, but only because it was way too long. After 50 to 60 hours, I was just at the half point of the game. 40% has the platinum, 41%, yeah. Sadly, I'm at the nope part, but I looked at all the cutscenes after you finished the bottom half of the island. Because I did everything, it was way too much. I loved the game, however. But again, it was just way too much. It was just like Elden Ring. I love Elden Ring, but it's too big. As for what's next from developer Sucker Punch, in an interview with VGC, co-founder and studio head Brian Fleming said the studio will decide its next project once Ghost of Yotei Legends comes out. But he suggested don't expect a flurry of games from the relatively lean developer. It's one project at a time. I like one project at a time, but yeah, they also... this sounds like they fired people. Did they fire people? If we were good at juggling 4 projects, yeah, we have a remaster, Ghost of Yotei, Dev Sucker. Okay, no, I don't care about that one. While we wait to find out, check out IGN's Ghost of Yotei review. Oh, okay, no. Okay. We have to talk a little bit about numbers here. I know, exciting. But it's very important here, because Ghost of Yotei did not as well as Tsushima did. Again, stuff happened in 2020, we know lockdowns were a thing, so we have this year Ghost of Tsushima, and it's not about the Metacritic stuff and so on. But it's also going to be interesting. You know what? On Steam, 9 out of 10. I don't know why they say 9 out of 10 and not percentage, like here in Metacritic. But then again, where was it? Here, July 17th. My thing, maybe I'm one of the very few here in the minority. I did not buy Tsushima day one because I wanted to play this game on the PS5, because I was very, very lucky to be able to have a pre-order for the PS5 on release date, so I waited with the game. I did not want to buy it a second time. Or because I also did not know if there will be a free update for the PS5. But yeah, again, this might have been a thing, but maybe probably about 1,000 people or so, not that much. But the PS5 sold 4.5 million units in the first 3 months of its life cycle. So I made an oopsie here because I did not pay attention to the release date of the Ghost of Tsushima game. And yeah, this was just a fun fact now. So, but what happened in 2020? We had this. We had, I don't care about the Metascore here right now. This is nothing. Don't look at that one. It's about the games. We have Persona 5 Royal that came out before Ghost of Tsushima. An incredibly long and very well made game. We had Last of Us Part 2, which came also in June. Also, yeah, controversies here and there. Doesn't matter. It sold incredibly well. People still played it. Then on the PS5, Demon's Souls. We had that one. Hades was around. That one is also an incredible game. I don't like roguelike games, but a couple of weeks ago I played Hades for the first time and it hooked me. Me, as a non-roguelite player. Animal Crossing is there. Who could forget about Animal Crossing and its best friend Doom Eternal, which was also there. I played Doom Eternal on PS4, by the way. Then Ori and Will of the Wisps is there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Okay, I don't think that this game took away from Ghost of Tsushima. But then again, there is a lot of games. Again, Doom Eternal. With Final Fantasy VII Remake was on PS4. I know it's April, but doesn't matter. People still bought it after that one. You can see there were a lot of games. We had Cyberpunk for... Oh god, we had Cyberpunk back then. Holy crap. But Christmas sales, but it also had some issues here and there. But we cannot forget about Among Us. We had Fall Guys and so many other party games that people wanted to play with their friends. We had so many games, cheap games, free games that were in direct clash with Ghost of Tsushima back then. There was a lot. And yes, Marvel's Spider-Man was also there. There is a big household name. This is the DLC for Spider-Man 1, which again was an incredibly well-made game. And people who then bought a PS4 because of lockdown also probably bought Spider-Man, because don't forget, the movies were a big thing back then. People knew Spider-Man, and that probably also fueled the sales there. Horizon was a thing. Also clashing with Ghost of Tsushima, a very well-known game, because this is the remaster. Wait, is that a remaster? Why does it take so long? Released on August 7. Oh no, this is the complete edition. Yeah, complete edition. So the original one was earlier than that one. But then again, I think I've made my point with this one. Dude, Astro's Playroom was in November 2020. God damn. Then, now, what is happening in October 2025? This is just a quick list. Let's just look at this. Outer Worlds 2. Yeah, what a... If you have seen my earlier videos, Outer Worlds 2, I have nothing to say about that one. But Battlefield 6, of course people are going to play Battlefield 6. Ark Raiders right now has such a humongous player base. Wait, let me just quickly check SteamDB. There is, where is it? Arc Raiders, there it is. 462,000 players 2 days ago. Of course, for the weekend, Sunday. Oh yeah, obviously for Monday there's going to be less people, but you can see it's going to go up. This is incredible. And whenever they can finally fix their issues with the customization because it looks like crap, and respecting player time a little bit more, then people are going to jump more into that one. Then we had Digimon. We had Pokemon Legends ZA. There it is. We have Ninja Gaiden, who also probably took away from Ghost of Yotei because it's a Japanese game. It's a very well-made game. It's fantastic. There are just a couple of streamers who are really bad at it because they skipped the tutorials because they did not want to read and did not know what the game wanted from them. So they are just being stupid and disingenuous there. Doom Dark Ages, no, why is that in October, by the way? I just said October. Come on, this was earlier this year. Borderlands 4 was that October? Wasn't that a little bit earlier? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Dispatch is fantastic. Dispatch is an amazing game. Holy crap. Dude, this is not an October list, by the way. Assassin's Creed Shadows? Dude, Google, what are you doing? Maybe I should have just looked at the Steam page. Yeah, Silksong is also not October. Okay, but then again, we can see that Ghost of Yotei had some very, very amazing games as competitors. Again, Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, Digimon, Pokemon Legends, all these games are going to take away from Ghost of Yotei. And if you have a game that, well, obviously has issues with, what's her name? What's her face? Erika Ishii, I think is the main actress. Someone who's that, let's just say, controversial again. Because I don't want to get copyright is restricted. Get restricted on YouTube, and I don't want people to have fuel against me, even though they already have it. But she made a lot of statements that are bad, that reflected bad on the game. The game itself has issues because of the story. Don't get me started on the story. I'm a big lore and story guy, so there are issues. And we have so many other games. Digimon Story Time Stranger was great. It was a really, really well-made game. Maybe I should also play that one. But no. We're just finishing up another game on stream with Technical Breach Wizards. Then we have even more games that I have to finish from my Steam backlog. I'm not going to go more into that one. And also, the indie games. They are cheaper. They are better. They are way more fun. And they don't patronize you. They don't try to push an agenda on you. Of course, there are going to be indie games like that as well. But it's not that much. Indie games are fun, made by people who just want to bring joy to you, who are joyful of being able to make a game and to tell a story. Not their story, a story. That is a very big distinction. This is something that I also said with Borderlands 4, where Randy the magician, Pitchford, said, I want to tell my story. Dude, get out. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. And while you're here, please remember to do all the things that make the dings. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more video games every day. And yeah, by that I of course mean like, subscribe, whatever you have to do. All the buttons, all the, yeah. I'm tired. My coffee is still not kicking. I'm sorry. Turn off YouTube's restricted mode. I will see you either later in the stream again with Tactical Breach Wizards, which is a fantastically funny game. Oh my god, it's so good. The writing is peak. I mean, fuck you, Steve! I'm sorry. It was yesterday was amazing. Holy crap! And yeah, we're going to build more Hellsmiths of Hashut for Age of Sigmar and talk more Warhammer. Always, we'll see us again tomorrow with the next video. What a long outro. I'm sorry. Bye. Bye. Bye.